Hello, hello, hello. As always, if you are new here, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. Y'all, it is so gross in Chicago. So I got back from Atlanta a few days ago. I was home for the holidays. And ever since I've been back in Chicago, this weather, I think, is what people have been warning me about. It's not even that cold. It's really not that cold. But it is gray and it has rained every day since I've been back. And it is actually depressing. Like, it is just gray outside. Just totally gray. I don't even feel like I really want to walk anywhere or do anything, and I don't want to stay cooped up in my house either. I don't know. I think these next 2 months are going to be tough. I think they're going to be tough, to say the least. I think I'm gonna have to make a really conscious effort to stay active and stay in routine and make sure that that seasonal depression does not come after me crazy hard. But having said that, 2024 is right around the corner, and I wanted to kind of talk through my 2024 goals. Obviously, if you watched my 2024 vision board video, I will link that below. But if you watch that, then you have a pretty good idea of kind of what I'm going after this year. But I would say that something that I did really good, that I really liked that I did last year was, I don't necessarily think of them as New Year's resolutions. I just make actionable items that I can go after throughout the year, and I try not to do too many, and I try not to do them too broad, because I think that sometimes that is what's so tough about New Year's resolutions or just trying to stay on track throughout the entire year, is that you want to do too many things, too much, or too big of change all at once, and it's not actually as feasible or realistic as you think it is. So kind of building off the work that I've done in 2023, I do have 3 big goals that I am going to be focusing on in 2024. I have said this before, but I feel like 2023 was such a year of work. Like, I was fixing so many things in my life. I was cleaning up messes. I was working on myself really, really deeply. And I feel like 2024 is now my time to kind of start to enjoy the fruits of my labor, while also obviously still working towards the things that I want and the lifestyle that I want to live. Having said that though, my first big goal for 2024, and this one, it's a little scary for me, I think, because I don't know. It's a little scary for me. So obviously in 2023, I cut out alcohol entirely for the entire year. And everyone that asks me, I say that I think it's the most monumental decision I've ever made in my entire life. And obviously everyone's favorite question is, oh, are you going to drink on New Year's? Like, are you going to start back drinking in 2024? And I've made it a point to just say, no, I'm not, but I'm also not putting myself into the box of I'm going to be sober forever. I've also been very careful in the last year to not use the word sober. I have always been super adamant about using the term alcohol free, because I have never considered myself to be a sober person. Like I said earlier in the year last year, I think the word sobriety, first of all, has a very loaded feeling to it. I have said this before, and I've said this time and time again. I am not battling addiction. I did not decide to stop drinking because I felt like I had to, or that I was addicted to alcohol. It was nothing like that. It was a purely personal choice. I just felt like it was hindering me from being the best version of myself. I didn't like my relationship with alcohol, and so that is why I felt like it was a really important thing for, if I wanted to kind of start to break through those glass ceilings in my life, like that was something that I personally wanted to explore, what life was like without it. And I can honestly say that life is pretty freaking great without it. And you can call me crazy, you can say this, that, or the other. It's something that I've experienced now, both sides of the coin, being a drinker and a partier, and also now being alcohol free and still having a social life and still being 27. Like, I've experienced both sides of the coin, and I can honestly say for myself that not drinking is awesome for me. I do not want to say that I will never drink again. I do not want to say that I will be sober for the rest of my life. I am not saying that. I am 27 years old. I have a lot of life left to live. But for right now, no more drinking for me. And something that I am working to explore and achieve in 2024 is complete sobriety. So I've never considered myself to be a sober person because I still smoked nicotine. I smoked it less last year than I have in the past, but still, nonetheless, I smoked nicotine. I would partake in weed or edibles from time to time. Still did that last year. And then there was the occasional, like when I was just, really wanting to like not be the sober one in the group, like just sometimes I wanted to taste that. Like I would dabble in shrooms every now and again. Okay. Like that was my way of still maintaining that sense of fun, my ability to say, oh no, I'm not sober, I just don't drink alcohol, right? Like it still gave me that sense of like, I'm fun. I don't know. It worked for me last year. It gave me the ability to move to a new city and still socialize and still go out. And I was sober when I was sober last year, like 95% of the time, but then there would be that 5% of time where I would dabble in something else or whatever it may be. This year though, I am on a mission to experience complete sobriety. I just want to see what that feels like. I want to see what that looks like in life. I want to kind of experience what that's like at a young age. So no nicotine, no weed, no whatever else, no alcohol. I think that this is going to be difficult for me, more difficult than just cutting out alcohol, because like I said, I did kind of use that I'm not sober crutch as my way of still seeming fun. I don't know. I think it's all a mental block that I have, and I'm kind of trying to work through that. Honestly, I think nicotine is going to be the hardest part of all of this. I was an idiot when I started smoking vapes. I've never smoked cigarettes in my entire life, but I was an idiot when I started smoking vapes in my early 20s, and I have quit off and on here and there. I would say towards the end of 2023, it was definitely a social thing. So like I didn't have a vape of my own. I wasn't like smoking inside of my house or anything like that, but I would smoke it if it was around me. If someone else had one, I would ask, can I hit that type of thing? But this next year, I really want to try and cut all of that out and just see what level of focus and what level of self-confidence I can gain from like just being 100% me at all times. I just want to see what that's like. I also, I have some pretty big ideas for myself this year, and I really do stand on the leg that I don't think I would have achieved half of what I achieved last year had I been drinking the way that I had previously. So I'm just excited. I'm excited to kind of see. It's an experiment, if nothing else. I'm going to see what this is like, see if I want to be sober for a long-term period of time, or if I want to be a in moderation type of person for a long period of time. So I'm just trying to kind of understand all sides of the coin and then make an educated decision for myself. That's kind of where I'm at. So goal number 1 for 2024, complete sobriety. Goal number 2, so obviously I just moved to Chicago. I've been here since August, so August, September, October, November, December, 5 months. I love it here. I think the winter's gonna be a little brutal on me. I think the winter's gonna be a bit tough, but honestly, up until now, I have not had an issue with the weather. I have not had an issue with really anything about Chicago. I love it. I think that it is the big city experience that I always wanted to be able to check the box on. I've always wanted to experience living in a really big city where I didn't need my car and fly the coop and not know anyone, where I moved and just have that whole experience. And I have loved every second of it, and I honestly think that it has given me an immense amount of personal self-confidence to do this move and meet new people and be the new girl and find out new hobbies and passions, and all of that on my own, I think, has given me an immense amount of self-confidence. But I also know that this is not where I'm meant to live long term. This is never maybe the lifestyle that I've like imagined for myself. I've always imagined living in a place with a lot of nature and living in a place where I can be incredibly super active, and honestly a place that is just absolutely beautiful. Like that is what I've always kind of really envisioned for myself, like long term. And even when I went home for the holidays to Atlanta, like all I wanted to do was go hiking, because that is something that I cannot do here in Chicago. I mean, I could if I had my car. I don't have my car. You have to go like outside of the city to get any type of nature like that. And it's just not nature like we have down in the mountains in Georgia or out west or anything like that. It's just not the same. So I'm really going to embrace my time here in Chicago, but I do think that I will, if I can line everything up and make everything work professionally, which are, you know, a couple more small steps and goals that I have along the way, I want to go out to the Pacific Northwest when my lease is up. I want to go bounce around. I don't want to sign a lease. I want to do a couple months in Washington, a couple months in Oregon, a couple months in Utah, Colorado, Nevada, Arizona, like Montana. I want to go really experience that part of our country. A big, huge piece of this being that I want to hike our national parks. This is like my ultimate, this is the lifestyle that I have envisioned for myself for years. And I have just honestly never felt like I was at a place in my life where I would be successful at it, where I would like have the confidence to go out and do it and not know anyone and constantly be the new girl and just bounce around and not have a home. And like, that's what I think Chicago has given me. That's what I think this move has been amazing for, is that I think that it has given me the confidence to say, okay, we're ready to go do this. Like, this is what you've always wanted to do. Like, let's go do it. So big goal number 2 for me in 2024 is to make my way out to the Pacific Northwest and really start exploring. That's really what I envision for myself in the latter half of 2024. And obviously with all of that comes, you know, a whole new wave of different types of content. I want to really start to show you all a little bit more of like the life that I'm building. Obviously a lot of my content in 2023 has been heavy on like the deep talks and, you know, streams of consciousness that I have about different types of topics. And I think that's just a really good representation of where I was at this year. I was in a very deep, reflective stage of my life this last year, and so obviously that's what I was sharing with y'all, and I don't ever want to lose that because I love these talks that we have. But obviously I'm going to be showing you a lot about my Hard 75 journey. I'm going to be sharing a good bit about how I'm making this move to the Northwest possible, and then I obviously want to start to share with y'all a lot of my outdoorsy hobby type content with hiking and camping and all of that. So just some really cool ideas coming for the channel in 2024. And with that said, super excited because this past year was my first year doing YouTube. So 1 year on YouTube, and I have officially reached 500 subscribers. And so my third big goal for 2024 is to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. Hopefully getting monetized. You know, I've talked before about no, that's not my only goal in having this channel, but obviously it makes doing these videos and the amount of time that it takes to do these videos and the amount of time that I spend thinking about these videos and editing these videos and publishing them and making the shorts and all of that, it makes it all legitimate. It makes it all kind of worth it in the end. And so yeah, that's a huge goal for me this year. I would love to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. I do think that it will give me that sense of legitimization to what I'm doing. Obviously, I still feel like I have so much to learn, and I do think that my content is going to continue to evolve and evolve and evolve and look different, and I think it's going to be hilarious 5 years from now when I come back and watch these videos and I'm like, look at this girl. Like, look at her. What is she doing? Like, look at these videos that she was making, you know, and I think that that's a really cool part of it. But I have some good, fun, different ideas for content this year, and I would love to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark in 2024. I think 2024 is going to be a really exciting year, and if you haven't watched my vision board video for 2024, please go ahead and check it out. Like I said, I will link it below. And as always, please be sure to like, follow, share, rate, comment, subscribe, do all of the things, and I will see you back next time.